Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Indeed, the Independent Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mike Hamley, here every week with you.
What are we independent from? Can you answer that question?
What do you mean?
What is an independent?
Like he's starting
already.
already.
What are we? I'm independent of who? Who do I depend on?
The game.
The game owes me nothing. I'm married to it, but what am I independent from, Mike? You need to answer that question. I'll leave. What am I independent from?
Already. Here you go.
I'm just fucking with you, man. What's up?
down with big wrestling.
Yeah.
This is the Independent Wrestling Podcast.
The best independent wrestling podcast.
Yeah, not about big wrestling here. We stand for the
big
little
wrestling.
Guy. Yeah.
Now I'm a little guy. That's crazy to me, bro.
Okay.
We stand for the little guys.
Right.
Wow.
No. All right. Well, I'm Mike. That's Reg. Hi, Reg.
What's up? It's your boy, your favorite writer, your favorite rapper, your favorite podcaster, RIGTEOUS.
Are you seeing money from the music you put on the AEW game? Did you get paid for that?
We'll talk about this after.
Oh shit! Why am I answering all the fucked up questions?
This is an interview about you.
Are you
Scott,
getting it for exposure, bro?
This is an interview about.
Are you getting paid for exposure, my man?
And West Coast Pro and not Righteous Reg.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry.
They gave him a hot dog and a handshake.
Turn this podcast off, bro.
I'm here to read this, bro. I'm flipping tables, bro. Anyway, what up? My name's
Our guest today. Yes,
I'm a janitor.
Yep.
For West Coast Pro Wrestling.
Yep. Scott. He sweeps up the canvas at the black and blue.
Absolutely. If you want to get booked, contact Vinny or Chris. I don't do nothing.
Leave me alone. Listen. Okay. You guys, this is indeed Mike and Righteous Reg. Today we have a very special guest. Listen, it's West Coast Pro. July 8th, Cruel Summer. Is this round 3?
If you made music for West Coast Pro, I'd pay you. You know that, right?
Scott,
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Can I finish?
Are you independent? Is that how that works?
I finish?
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. I'm an asshole,
man.
This is the best episode ever.
The words that Scott Bregante have no bearings on the views of Reggie or Mike or the Indie podcast for that matter. I'm just an asshole. So don't worry about it.
It's all West Coast Pro views. Send your hate mail to @West Coast Pro.
It's not even West Coast Pro views. I'm a janitor. I'm a custodian.
All right.
Yeah. Vinny's in charge of HR too, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, send all your hate mail to Vinny at Snoring Elbow.
All the PR and HR goes to Snoring Elbow.
PR goes to Killer Cam, Chris, and Vinny Booker Mans of the Year. So, like I said, I'm just the janitor.
What is my official title at West Coast Pro?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, I could pay you an exposure, so we could figure that out later. You know what I mean? For the opportunity. We don't serve hot dogs at our shows for a reason.
Stop it. All right, listen.
Damn,
July 8th, Cruel Summer. Is this round 3 or is this round 4?
This is the 4th, I think, Cruel Summer.
This is the 4th Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer number 4, July 8th.
3rd.
It's happening on a Saturday.
It's the 3rd
This
one.
is the 3rd one. Yeah, because This is number 3. Very hot show. It's on a Saturday. Actually, not Can You Work Fridays this time. It's a Saturday. What is why are we wrestling on Saturday, Scott?
Well, the reason why we weren't able to work Saturdays at the state room is because the state room's booked out for the next 2 years because it's quinceañeras and weddings in that building. So there's Saturdays
always lit. Yeah, right.
I live 3 blocks from that building. I've gone to weddings in there and quinceañeras in there. So like it is what it is. The venue that we have now, amazing people, and they're fans of wrestling, and they hit us up and they are like, "We got Saturdays up," and I'm like, "Say less." So the week that I printed out the Can You Work Friday shirts was the week that I confirmed that we could do Saturday.
And you still got the shirts out.
But I'm getting confirmations from people that I won't say who, but they're like, I can't work Saturdays, but I could work Fridays. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
So
a company just started a new Saturday show and they love niggas from West Coast Pro on their show. No comment on that one, huh?
Reg, like I said, do you have any music that you want to put on the show?
This ain't about me.
No,
this is about
if you want to be a part
you.
of West Coast Pro and not be all in the videos.
You be all up in the videos.
No, I'm not. Where? Nah. I be in the world.
Pull the footage up.
No.
Pull the footage up.
Is that I'm at the wrong place, wrong time. The guy was like, yo, like, I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna tell her no. Who am I to say no to her? Like, are you kidding me? So I'm standing there, and now there's 10 memes of my regular wrestling.
All in the videos.
No, I'm just
all in the videos.
That's because I know I'm on camera, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. That if you find that picture, someone has it. Cam always posts it. I'm always pissed off in that because I'm on camera and I don't want to be on camera.
It.
I
love it when they're trying to. There's like let's have a motivating meeting about the show. West Coast Pro. Scott's gonna talk, and he's just like, man, I don't want to talk. Just like say 3 motivating words, Scott.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right, I'm gonna make sure y'all get paid, unlike Reg, and then everyone be
That's
happy.
pretty motivating.
Reg, you never should have told me that shit because I'm known around here to be like, yo, avoid the $20 bookings, beloved. Don't do it. And to know my Bay Area brethren to find out this is what we're going. This is now. See, I'm gonna try to stop talking about it, but I'm just letting you know. I know now.
Mike,
my favorite, for the record,
I got his ass, Mike. You're welcome.
For the record, my favorite Scott screenshot is the one where he's freaking out when Starboy kicks out of the Sweet Time Driver at the West Coast Cup Finals.
Hot.
Yeah, because people watch the show, I watch the people, and that just made me very happy.
That was good. That was a good ass match.
The cup this year gonna fucking be insane too, man. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Masato Tanaka, big bro.
That's October, bro.
That's the October show, man. I'm just moving. I haven't even told like things going on.
We just signed whoever wins at Cruel Summer is gonna face someone women's title on the line at the night 1 of the West Coast Cup, and then we're flying them in from Japan. And then night two is gonna be really fun too, because again, we don't know who's gonna win between Titus and Vinny. Like, we have no idea who's winning that. So whoever wins that match, night 2, West Coast Cup, who's gonna face this person? Like, it's gonna be fun. And as corny as it sounds, all roads lead to the 5th year anniversary show, because we haven't even started with that yet. It's gonna be stupid.
The 2 announcements for that right now are Kobashi and Tanaka.
We have Kenta Kobashi coming in. We're
the greatest Japanese professional wrestler of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. 35th year in wrestling, and we're gonna celebrate him being involved in it. If it wasn't for people like him or Chigusa Nagayo, I wouldn't be doing this shit. So, like, I always want to give back to the legends that come before us and not forget them. You know what I mean? And I think it's been like 20-something years since he's been to America at a wrestling show. So why not? I guess people were afraid to ask him or some shit, but I'm asking everybody. And I haven't even announced like that. Masato's one. That's gonna be insane.
Is he working or is he just
no, he's working.
signing autographs?
No,
he's working.
He's working. He's going to be out there with somebody's ass. It's going to be insane. Yeah, Masato Tanaka, bro. We're going to get busy with him.
I'm already thinking of like, I wonder who around the Bay Area would I love.
Come on, dude. Vinny Massaro. There's nothing to think about. Vinny Massaro and Masato Tanaka.
There is a long time between now and October. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Like, we're having a blast over here. Honestly, we're having a fucking good time. So
look, we don't know who's wrestling who at the West Coast Cup. We don't know who's wrestling who at the 5-year anniversary, but we do know who's wrestling who 10 days from today.
Yep.
Facts.
Yep.
Cruel Summer 2023.
Yep. It's gonna be very exciting.
You got a wild show you put together here, Scott.
I didn't put it together, man. That's Chris and Vinny. Like I said, I'm just
true.
true.
Yes, true.
Chris, just janitor, yes. You know what I mean?
Tired of you.
Yes,
hey,
that's right.
Hey, Faye, what are you doing?
Chris, sorry. Yes, good job.
Janitor.
Good job, Chris.
He wrote the things down for them on the whiteboard as they were saying.
I can't read, write, or spell, bro. So I don't know.
All right, let's get into it. Next
Oh my
week,
God.
big
Yeah.
show. The main event of this show
Whew.
is it feels like every West Coast Pro show now we have like this years in the making type
I think
epic
we just had an
showdown.
earthquake. Holy shit. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
That
damn it.
was fun.
I'm like, please don't come this way. We have like this epic showdown of years in the making type
Yep.
thing. And I think it's happening again right here with the West Coast Pro champion, been on absolute fire throughout the independence. I said it. Titus Alexander is going to be taking on the number one contender who just came out of a very hard fought battle against Starboy Charlie, Vinny Massaro. This is big, man. Vinny, ever since you announced that championship, Vinny has been like, give me that championship. I don't care about nothing that you're saying. I want that championship. How big is this match for West Coast Pro?
To me personally, this is the biggest heavyweight title or biggest title match we've ever had. Mostly because of who's involved. You could look at day one when they first came into the company. You know what I mean? Both local guys for sure, but I also pride our local guys in such a high regard because they are the best of the best. I mean,
right?
I don't know how to say it other than that. You have someone like Vinny Massaro. It's his 25th year in wrestling. He has wrestled anyone that you care about, and honestly, like the fact that he helped train Titus and it's all culminating up to this point, and Titus, disrespecting the shit out of him on the last couple of shows and, beating the hell out of his student. And it's just, there's a lot there more than just the belt. And the fact that the belt is there makes it even more of a meaningful opportunity for him. But also I think he needs to put a period at the end of that sentence for his career. Right. Because I think when he came into West Coast, a lot of people overlooked him, not only for his age, but I think they forgot who the fuck Vinny Massaro is in the first place.
Honestly. Yeah.
And I think that West Coast
Pro I can honestly say I was a part of that. So I was kind of like, this is an interesting choice.
You would be very shocked at the people that I could tell you that people have come up to me and they said in the beginning, pre-COVID, they said, why do you still book this person? And that Michael Jordan meme where it said I took that personally.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off stream, but like there's definitely people that you and me are very akin to where people are like, he's boring and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, watch this.
Watch it.
So when it comes to Vinny, we had to reintroduce who the fuck Vinny Massaro was. And I think that we've given Vinny a very good platform to do so. And now we are here as he's the number one contender. But saying all of that doesn't really mean that his, opponent at this show is anything less, because this is Titus fucking Alexander. Probably one of the best on the I hate the word independent scene in this country. I mean, soon he's, we're announcing it soon, but he's headed to Japan very soon. But he is a defending champion. Anyone that we put up against Titus, he has passed with flying colors. His feud with Nick Wayne was amazing. Crazy. Two of the best at that time. They were killing it. The growth from Titus going from the cup all the way winning, beating Jacob Fatu. Like, you can't sit there and say that he's a slouch for a champion. He's probably one of the best champions that the Bay Area or Northern California has ever seen, period.
Fact.
The fact that he's going up against Vinny Massaro for a title match, all these stakes are on the line, is insane. It's going to be a lot of amazing moments, and I'm extremely excited to see what happens from that. Will there be fallout? How's the fallout going to be? We don't know.
Who's next for the who's the next number one contender for saying who's gonna Vinny's doing it right now?
I mean, we're about to find out with the cup, right? Whoever wins at the West Coast Cup goes to the main event of our anniversary show and then faces that person. And obviously Titus won the cup last year. He went on, won the belt. Whoever wins the cup, are they going to beat Vinny? If Vinny wins, are they going to beat Titus? If Titus wins, we don't know who's going to be. We have a title match that's at the West Coast Cup. Who's going to win at that point? We don't know.
Right.
There's a lot that goes on. There's a lot of, I think a lot of people will see like, okay, we see what's happening here, and they automatically put their bets on that horse. There's a lot of shit that happens in between that we might shake it up. You know what I mean? Someone might win a belt, beat someone that's in this match this week. It might not be a completely different landscape when it comes to October. We don't know. That's the beautiful part about West Coast Pro. You never know who's going to show up and what the fuck's going to happen. So, I mean, I would strongly suggest watching that match specifically next Saturday on IWTV Live, because it is going to be one of the ones that I've been looking forward to. I think everyone is used to seeing a lot of out-of-town talent or international talent on these really big quote-unquote super shows. Nope. It's going to be our guys. It's always going to be our guys. So that's what it is.
I want to talk more about that, because that's what's always been the spirit, I think, of West Coast Pro. Like off rip,
San Francisco strong style, you mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like off rip, it felt like you were representing for the people that live here, and you would have big people coming in, and you would have these matches. But like the reason that Powerhouse Hobbs is my homie is because you put everything on him. Like when I was going to West Coast Pro at the beginning, it was like, this is the Powerhouse Hobbs show. This guy's going to be the guy. And he was totally the guy, because if you see him in any crowd, he's fucking the most likable guy. Like everybody was wearing Hobbs shirts before he was even anybody, you know what I mean? Yep. And I was like, why are people so attached to this guy? And I talked to him, like, oh, I see it. But you did that multiple times over. Was that just your plan off rip? Is like, I'm going to have this dope company, but mostly put the numbers on the people from here?
So first and foremost, when I came into wrestling, it was through Will. Yeah. If it wasn't for Will Hobbs, I would not be in wrestling. If it wasn't for Sparky Ballard, I would not be in wrestling. So for me to say, and reminder, Will never won the West Coast title. He never won it. He was never a title holder. So it wasn't one of those things where I'm going to put my boy on.
He never got his payback on Karrion Kross, or what was his name? The homie Cross, beat him up, and then he never came back again.
It was supposed to be him, Hammerstone, when it was all said and done. But that's a story for another day.
Right.
But again, when COVID hit, I lived in Connecticut for like 6 months, and during that time, it was me and David Marquez from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and he was like, I need you to find me someone that doesn't look like anyone. And I go, the only person I can think of is Will. Will is a walking action figure. There's no one in the country, let alone world, that looks like Will. And I say that now. And I keep my opinion. Like, you'll never see me put my opinions about Will in public, because I am so incredibly biased that I will just sound like a fucking hater towards anyone that makes wrong decisions. So I just let you do the tweeting. But
I can only imagine what the drafts must look like recently. Then
drafts, no, I just be throwing shit. Like I'll be real with you. I don't watch anymore. Respectfully, like I just stopped watching it. When a company was here and I found out my boys weren't at the show, I was like, I'm not going. Like, why would I show? I just don't care. You know what I mean? Just because I'm so biased towards the guys that I fuck with that I'm just like, no. So anyway, when I started West Coast Pro, I've always said this. I got tired from being a fan in the Bay Area, looking outwards and being like, damn, the East Coast has fucking evolved. And they have, when Ring of Honor was cracking and all that other shit. And I had to look to LA, and I fucking hate LA as a just, on some Bay Area, tribalism shit. But I was like, I love LA, but I hate LA for sports teams. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man, I'm tired of driving to PWG. I'm tired of, looking at all these other dope spots and being like, fuck that. We got some ill motherfuckers up here, bro. This is the Bay. Like, what is this?
Facts.
Like, we are literally the epicenter of a lot of culture. And I think a lot of people forget about that. In everyday speech, when people talk about certain things, slang comes from here. Certain ways that people talk, the way that people hustle from here. You could go anywhere in the world. If you made it in the Bay, you could hustle anywhere else. You could put me in the middle of Connecticut, Chicago, Florida, Houston, Texas. I'm a Bay Area cat. I'm going to get this money. I'm going to hustle. That's it. So first and foremost, people need to understand that West Coast Pro is a Bay Area born and bred company that will always put that stuff out first. If you look at every single show that we had going in and out of COVID, it was always named after something Bay Area. From AFI references to RBL posse references, it doesn't matter. Like, this is the Bay. So saying that, I grew up watching Vinny Massaro. I grew up watching guys like Rick Luxury. I grew up watching guys like Marcus Lewis. And, there's a ton of people here that never got their due because footage never released. It was very compartmentalized.
We just talked about that with Levi last week about this
Levi
lost
Shapiro.
footage.
I used to watch it. Yeah, there's tons of footage that is gone, and I'm looking for a lot of it. Like I'm actually like procuring footage now. There's shit that people don't even know exists. Like right now, like it's a personal thing for me. I'm finding all of Vinny Massaro's shit from 99 to like 05. And he says it's impossible. I'm like,
Click Wrestle.
Do you see what I'm saying? So like it's a thing, right? So there's a lot of stuff that like I think a lot of people don't know about the Bay, and there's such rich history out here that people don't know between all these companies that were out here, but there's so much politics that just fucked it off. So I came in, the first thing I said was Bay Area, make sure our local guys, local to me means from anywhere from here to Sacramento. Local goes first. That's it. That's all there is to it. Number two, I want to make sure that people understand that there's neutral here. We do not play that bullshit where I want everyone to work everywhere and I want everyone to be able to make money everywhere. I'm not of the old school mentality. There was a very bad, how can I say? There was a very bad stigma that Bay Area companies had when I came in, that that was very territorial and people didn't either want to work up here. They were worried about getting us. But as the more and more I've got into wrestling, I figured, okay, that's everywhere. Right. So
yes,
I came in from the perspective of I want to make sure our guys are treated properly. I want to make sure that all that stuff's taken care of. Everyone's paid for. Everyone has some, they leave with some dignity and respect, and we're good. Right. Like if they contributed to the music, I'd pay them. So I want to make sure that Bay Area stuff is what we're known for. So that's why we started branching out. We started going to Sacramento, Santa Cruz. We're going to do LA eventually. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So with that being said, that is why Cruel Summer is so important. That's our big summer show, right? You have Titus Alexander, who is our West Coast Pro champion, who is someone that he is not
that theme change hit so hard, man.
Oh shit! He had
timing.
To do it. He had to kill him.
Timing. Yeah,
getting that, getting him there. Vinny Massaro, again, living legend. No bullshit. He could actually fit the bill. Go look at his fucking resume. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, that alone could have been like, that's the marquee. But no.
Yeah.
There's a story between those two. There's history between those two. There's history from where Titus has gone, or he's coming from, and where he's going, versus also Vinny, where he's going, where he's come from, what he's doing now. I'm telling you, it's two of the biggest that we have in the Bay Area.
History with Titus's dad too. Like there's so much.
I mean, that's the other part. Big Ugly is obviously Titus's dad, but Vinny's old tag team partner. Like I said, Vinny damn near, alongside of a lot of other people, but mostly Big Ugly, helped bring Titus into this game. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a thing. There's more to it than just two guys going at it. There's history. It's like 15 years of history here.
That's hard.
It's wild.
So sorry, I had to go off for a second, but that's
no. That is what we're here for. Another match on this card that I have a personal connection to, also along those same lines, was originally a match was announced, but that match had to be
the original Forbidden Door, the actual fucking Forbidden Door. God, I hate
when
that
somebody
shit.
was looking on their phone. They were like, "Wait, who's wrestling? Who? Where?
Yeah. What?" Yeah, it is what it is. It was originally supposed to be Black Taurus. Unfortunately, the stars did not align. Maybe one day, but it's Jeff Cobb and Alpha Zoe.
Yeah. So Jeff Cobb, huge name, big guy, incredibly talented person. We know about the rich history of Jeff Cobb. But coming up through the rankings, I talked on this podcast for weeks and months now. Coming up through the rankings of West Coast Pro from where he was to where he is now, Alpha Zoe. Getting this huge match and this huge opportunity is so big. Talk to me about the rise of Zoe and why you chose him in this match against Jeff Cobb.
Probably the hardest working person I know besides myself.
Yeah, honestly.
We actually have a no rest for the West with Zoe coming. So you guys are going to be able to look into the life of Alpha Zoe, because that man does.
Beautiful.
it's amazing.
Mhm.
Alpha Zoe has been definitely a staple for a few Northern California promotions, as far as just you'll
Yeah, a
see
lot of
him on the card.
championships.
Yeah, you'll
Mhm.
see him on the card. You know what I mean? And I think that you know him from tag teams. We also you knew him from the conglomerate, and there was an opportunity for him to do some singles work. And he's like, "Hey, I'm ready for a boss." I said, "All right, let's go get it." And I'm always going to give someone an opportunity to go and show and prove. And honestly, he has never let me down once. His
No.
match with Leo Rush was amazing.
Oh my
Incredible
god.
match.
Like, you know, I
Had
think
me
a lot of people.
shedding tears at that damn stateroom with
Oh,
that
he
match.
had his
Damn it.
family in there, all that stuff.
We got to talk to him like a couple days after that. Actually,
Mhm.
go check that episode out
he
too.
was talking
Yeah.
some shit, boy.
Yeah.
Jobber Zoe. Yeah, fuck whoever said that shit too. Tell him I said it.
We're not getting into it.
I'm into it. I'm with all that shit. So so there's having world renowned talent like Leo Rush, right?
Mhm.
Incredible talent, incredible cardio, amazing look, been everywhere
Insane.
that anyone's ever wanted to be. And then you
Yeah.
got Zoe, who literally is, clawing and scratching to get opportunities.
Mhm.
And he stood there right there with them and killed the game and sent them. It was fire. Then I'm not gonna talk too much shit, but them Suavecitos boys, as much as they are a pain in my ass, they are talented, but they're annoying
So
as fuck.
talented. Oh.
Annoying as fuck. Don't like working with them. But anyway,
But their energy though, man,
their
their energy,
energy's
like you
solid,
could
but
just
that
feel
Southern
it
California
through
shit, you
this.
could keep that down there.
Yeah.
But anyway, they stepped up and they crossed paths with Zoe, and so took care of it, with Adrian Quest at the last show as Kid Zombie.
Yeah.
Put a period to the end of that sentence, and now we got something special is about to happen, because you don't really get a lot of opportunities when you have high caliber talent like Jeff Cobb, who doesn't currently live in the country. It's very rare that he is here and he's not doing a New Japan show, and we are incredibly thankful that New Japan is hooking that up, to give a young talent like Zoe, who is I'm very, very excited to see what this match brings, not only out of Zoe, but I think we're gonna get to see an old Jeff Cobb. Because Cobb's a beast. I mean, we're putting we're putting the spotlight on Zoe, but like Cobb is the mountain. You know what I mean? Cobb is a monster. Like literally,
Jeff Cobb.
He does
one of the
freaky things.
most storied champions to ever come out of the Bay Area, to be honest. But him being here at our flagship show, one of our flagship shows, and against one of the most like exciting up and comers, it's gonna be something special. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know if Cobb's gonna take him on a trip to the islands or not. The tour. I don't know if you can take him on a tour of the islands, or
I know Zoe has some other ideas than that.
Zoe with that sidewinder. I'm seeing him pick up 2-3 people and send them. So I don't know.
A sidewinder on Jeff Cobb is gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
the building's going to explode for sure.
Zoe is a fucking asshole. He is selling the fucking fanny pack. Never mind. I take back everything I said about Zoe.
No, never mind.
Matter
of fact, God. He's not booked no more. I'm taking
we're gonna put the link up here. Anybody want a fanny pack with your favorite wrestling janitor?
Apparently, it's an open challenge for Jeff Cobb now.
He has 25.
Summer next
he has a limited 25 stock of that fucking thing.
Oh my god!
I'm about a cop.
I'm not even. You know what? We are now in tune. You know why, Reg? You want to know why? I'm not seeing a dime of that.
Oh.
Not seeing a dime. What's going on?
No.
Well, anyway, sorry.
Van, I see your super chat. I'm gonna get to it at the end of the show.
Help.
But just stack them all up, just so you know. Not
help,
ignoring you
guys. Yeah. But yeah, Zoe and Jeff Cobb is going to be certified banger, as they say.
Yes,
unfortunately, people don't
100%.
that. That's going to be a great match. And there's Zoe has throughout his rise in West Coast Pro, he's built up a couple of other like interesting matchups, and I think the biggest match that you haven't announced yet for me is going to be Zoe against this man who's going to be in this next match, Brian Keith. Brian Keith, there was it a 6-man that they were in? Maybe,
yep, that was
and the big slap and like that energy. I still think about that slap very often. I'm like,
I'm
man,
a very patient man.
Off.
I'm a very patient man.
You are, man. What the
hell? So, I mean, Brian Keith, like, you know, we're leading into Brian Keith versus Mao. I think
yes.
Brian Keith, we were not on air when I cut that, did I?
No, that
shit.
was yeah, you were just talking.
I didn't, when I come on these things, I don't know what's what. I'm bad with technology. Anyway, yeah, Brian Keith to me is one of the most talented people. You've heard it 1,000 times. Everyone that ever sees Brian Keith knows that he's fire. I don't know a bad Brian Keith match, to be honest. I can't name one. And that's very rare. And Brian Keith is, you know, I think too talented. And he's not long for this world much longer. So we're trying to grab as much as we can.
Get every match out you can, because the brother is out of here.
Yeah, I mean, Brian already hit me up about Masato. He hit me. He said, "Look, bro, I need Masato." I said, "Look, bro, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not the booker. I'm the janitor. So you're gonna have to figure that out. You know, there's a lot of time. See, I think what a lot of people forget is that there's a lot of matchups that we could have here that a lot of people can't.
Yeah,
I mean, they could." They could try, but they can't. You know what I mean? So like, but to go back on Brian Keith versus Mao is him. Like, honestly, as far as anyone that's coming out of Japan, there's not a lot of people I could say that is authentic as Mao and as talented as Mao. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of the same, you know what I mean? There's a lot of typecast shit that you'll see that comes from a lot of places. Mao does not fit any mold. I can't really compare Mao to anyone, to be honest. And I love that about Mao. When you put a match together, shout out to Chris and Vinny, like Mao and Brian Keith, I believe personally that match is going to be something that people walk away going like they usually do with a Brian Keith match and a Mao match and say, holy shit, that was the best match I didn't know I needed. Brian Keith versus Kevin Knight last month. I implore anyone to go back and watch it. I mean, I don't care about stars or anything like that because I don't. We don't need stars. Just know that was a fire ass match.
That shit was heat.
That was insane.
I was going crazy.
Brian Keith and Titus have had.
They just worked it last weekend. We had Brian Keith versus Titus a while back. Yeah. I mean, just go look through the cage.
Where'd they do that at?
I mean, I don't know, man. Little small ass Bay Area company called, you know, talking about West Coast Pro. You feel what I'm saying? No, I was playing. But I mean, like, first time we saw Charlie and Fatu in the ring was at West Coast Pro pre-COVID. I'm not speaking on much, but you know what I'm saying? That if you go look back at a lot of stuff that we do, I'm not mad. I want that to happen. I want everyone to book everyone that we book. Mm-hmm. Go take, you know, if you're down in Arkansas, book Charlie. If you're down in, you know, Florida, don't book any of my guys. I'm good. But if you're like, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of, I always want our guys to get booked. But anyway, back to Mao and Brian Keith. That is going to be such an amazing match that, again, it's a West Coast Pro show. Every match that we've talked about so far, this is our third. Mm-hmm. It could have, I mean, Zoe versus Cobb could have made.
Yes, facts.
Vinny versus Titus could have made. Mm-hmm. If you went down to Texas, Mao and Brian Keith could have made. Shout out to New Texas Pro. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on here. You know what I mean? Like, we are not lost on the idea of who Brian Keith is and how important he is. We saw what he did in New Texas. We saw what he means to Texas. And the fact that, like, I'm a screwhead. For the rest of my life, I'm a screwhead. DJ Screw forever. But to find out that he was an official Swisher House sponsored artist, he's coming to the coast. I'm sorry.
It's so fire.
It's above me. It's above me. So, you know what I mean? I'm very excited to see what happens. Mao, man, one of the coolest people you ever meet. If you ever have a chance to kick it with Mao, because Mao is a very personable person, you know, do it. Good luck. Keep up. Drink 2 Red Bulls. God bless you. And that's all I got to say about that.
There's you listed off a whole bunch of matches that could have made, and there's still another one on here that we haven't even talked about, and that's for the West Coast Pro Women's title. Masha Slamovich versus
Oh.
Trisha Dora.
Oh my god.
Okay, like
That's
Trisha Dora.
crazy.
Let's talk about
Oh
Trish
my
real fast.
god.
So when we were looking, well, not we. Sorry, when Chris and Vinny were looking for
When they were looking.
when they were looking for a solid opponent for Trish, I was cleaning the garbage can out and I was just happened to be in the room, so don't worry about it. When they were looking for someone to wrestle against Masha, I think there needs to be a very honest and open conversation about Trisha Dora and the fact of how much she has improved over the last 2 years. There have been a lot of talented people that just kind of floundered off post-COVID. I understand there's a lot of variables there, so I don't blame anybody. Trisha Dora is probably and needs to be, but people are dumb. One of the most improved in-ring talents that I have seen in such a short time. I know where she trains. She took her Japan trip and killed it over there.
Yeah.
I know she does an amazing job at Hood Slam. Shout out to Shiki and Hood Slam. I fuck with y'all the long way. Trisha Dora needs to be on everyone's list. There's a lot of people that get flown out that I see on a week-to-week basis on a lot of flyers, and no discredit to them, but Trish needs to be on those posters. Trish is amazing. So
even you said the last 2 years, even in the last 2 months, the difference, like if you haven't seen Trisha Dora in 2 months, and you'll be like, oh my god, what has happened? Like the way that she's been carrying herself, the way that she's been working her matches,
she is a killer.
It's insane. It's crazy.
I think
this is such a great match to happen because Masha has been, oh my god,
we'll speak on Masha in a second, but
the world down. Yeah.
If you look at what Vinny and Chris's checklists are of who they want to have at West Coast Pro, Trish is really hitting every single one of those check marks, and I'm you know, who am I to disagree, right? Masha Slamovich, probably one of the best women's wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah, honestly, no matches on any show feels like Masha matches. Like she is separate from everyone else. It's
League of her own.
Yeah.
Any kind of match too with anyone.
With anyone.
Yes.
Anyone.
Yes. Masha. So the Bay Area is very now they're again, Hood Slam is at the head of this where they'll do a lot of intergender matches, but a lot of the classic purists, you know, the hard heads that I'm not gonna speak ill on, but like they don't like intergender matches. Masha's one of those ones where they don't question it because they know Masha beat the shit out of people.
Yes.
I've seen Masha outdrink your favorites. I'll tell you off stream. I've seen her outdrink twice ex West Coast Pro champions to where they tapped out. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
she is every bit of as tough as you would imagine.
The big goose?
I'm not speaking on blood. I'm just letting you know. I said I'll tell you off stream. I'll tell you off stream. You know what I'm saying? I'll answer that question if you answer me if you got a residual check from me.
Okay. Yeah, we're moving on. Moving forward. Moving forward.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So anyway, so point being is these two, and I hate using this word for the millionth time, but like I want anyone to look at a West Coast Pro show and look at these matches and say, this is going to be a fucking, I don't know what to expect. Someone's going to get their ass whooped. We know what wrestling matches look like. We know what to expect from them. Everything that we put out, I want it to transcend that. I want people to look at this and be like, brother, we know what type of time this is, but I don't know where this is going to go.
Right.
I want and I love that because when you look at Masha and you look at Trish on paper, and then on top of that, man, like I said, it's rough being at these shows because I don't get to watch everything.
Right.
Because I'm running around.
Yeah.
But they're gonna figure it the fuck out. I'm sorry. I'm delegating a lot because this show I need to see a lot of this shit. It's gonna be really good. I'm really excited. So like, you know, again, we've actually mained a match with Masha. You know what I mean? We've done that where we've had a women's match close the show and specifically in an area that with purist wrestling that doesn't fly. I'm very proud of our women's division. I don't play about our women's division. I will say this right now. I think we have the best women's division in the country as far as what we do goes. No one can fuck with us. And I don't say that as like some cocky shit. I mean it as just go look at what we've done in the last 6 months to a year, and then you could really see what I mean by that. And it honestly,
Queen of the Indies landmark.
Oh shit. Queen of the Indies was I could have retired after Queen of the Indies of how happy I was with that. That was as close to perfect as I'll allow. I'm there to be it first of all, to be able to be a fan 6-7 years ago and be like, oh, King of Indies, and then out here actually doing it and succeeding with it, and then having the Queen of Indies, having Masha be a part of that, Mio, Unagi, every woman that was in that was selected for a reason. There was nobody in there that was a throwaway, and I don't believe in throwaways. If you look at our shows, we don't fuck around with that type of shit.
Never.
So yeah. So I really, really hope people look back at what we've been doing with the women's division that we've had, and look at this match and be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whoever wins this match, should I just?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, hold on. Fuck it.
Say that.
I'll get the tweet out while we do it anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk for a second while I just pull it up real fast.
We also there's another women's match since we're talking about women's wrestling in West Coast Pro. Tag team match.
Specifically, why I mentioned Queen of Indies is because it's you've developed this relationship with oh God,
Marvelous.
Bad research. Thank
Don't
you.
do that in front of me, bro. That's Marvelous Pro Wrestling. That's the goose and the guy.
Marvelous Pro Wrestling.
Better respect it in front of me. At least.
You have Magenta coming with you have Magenta coming over from Marvelous, I should say, not with to face Johnny Robbie and Nicole Savoy.
Yes,
we got Nicole Savoy back again. I don't know how Scott keeps getting her off the stream, but
she says she wants video game money. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But nah, Nicole Savoy, obviously a staple in what Northern California and a lot of women's wrestling is. And she's amazing. And
there was a string of shows where she had the match of the night every time. It was like 4 or 5 shows where I was like, Nicole Savoy did that the triple threat with her, Masha, and was it Sandra Moon?
Yep.
So fire. Oh my God. I was just like, this is dope. I'm so happy that she's back in wrestling for however amount of time she is.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm so sorry. What I'm basically doing, y'all, is I'm putting a tweet out announcing who is going to be wrestling at the West Coast Cup on night 1. And I'm just putting the tweet together because, janitor's got to do some shit. And I'm going to announce it here first. I do that shit from time to time. I think the last time I was on here, I just put something out there.
You did. It was an unfortunate. We didn't get to see it, but you announced the last time you were on Indeed, it was Lee Moriarty for the West Coast Cup.
I miss Lee. That's the homie. That's my guy.
Oh man,
fucking Fridays, man.
Fridays. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Announcement. 1 second. I'm so sorry for holding up your shit. Yes, this tag team match. So, okay. So Magenta is a very high octane, is the best word, tag team. And we don't see a lot of women's tag team on the indies. And I hate that. And to be honest, like, I want to change it. So I'm sorry, Chris and Vinny wanted to change it, so they said fuck it. and it did well. So Maria was amazing. Really, really gravitated towards the crowd, and they gravitated right back. Yeah. And then Rico's
great
coming.
Energy.
This is gonna be her US debut. We secured visas for both of them, all that. So sick. It's we're definitely getting cracking with that type of stuff. It's very exciting. And then you have obviously Nicole Savoy, who is no slouch there's nothing you can say negative about Nicole. And then Johnny fucking Robbie is probably one of the most interesting and talented. She's only been in wrestling, I think, for a year and a half.
Oh shit.
I think a year and a half, 2 years. You're about to find out about Johnny Robbie for real. She's been a staple in Southern California, and I was like, yep. And she killed it at the Queen of Indies. So I'm very excited for her to, I'm excited for that.
Is the tweet out?
Yeah.
Are we here?
We're about to. I'm just getting the graphic. I'm proofreading it because,
Hey,
I can't read.
Yeah, one of the tweets was a mistake yesterday. Somebody didn't proofread it all the way.
You got to remember, man.
Here comes Manders. I'm like, this isn't Manders.
That's not Manders. I copy and paste a lot of shit sometimes, so I'm just like
that's Jay Malachi.
Yeah, nah.
Jay Malachi being announced as dope too.
Yeah.
really
Jay
quick.
Malachi,
he's
Chris.
great. That's gonna be fire.
So I think Deadlock Pro should be on everyone's radar. That
Yes.
DPW is.
We need to talk more about. We got to get some Deadlock Pro people on our show.
Deadlock Pro is
sure.
if you're talking about, and I don't count. No, I don't know. I say that out loud. I will say this: Prestige, Defy, Us, Deadlock, are definitely should be on everyone's list. New Texas Pro for sure. Everyone's list to pay attention to, just because there's
100%.
If you promote your local talent on the same caliber and in importance as a fly-in, I will respect you 10 times more. Deadlock is definitely on that. So much love to Deadlock. Chris told me about Jay. I watched a ton of his stuff. Holy shit. Like, I always feel like when I find out about shit, I'm like, why haven't I seen it more places? This is dumb. And then I go look around again. I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's stupid. So then I take control of the situation, and
everybody just wants to book the same people. That's why.
Well, I mean, you can't blame a lot of people because, again, like, man, a lot of people they're afraid of taking chances and risks. Being in wrestling in this industry is a chance and a risk. Every show is a chance and a risk. Every decision you make is a chance and a risk. Sometimes you need to have people around you that want to try things that you don't agree with. If West Coast Pro was a brainchild that it was 100% mine and I didn't listen to Chris or Vinny, it would be a lot of deathmatch shit. I love deathmatch stuff. I've always told people I love deathmatch shit. The moment that I decided to do a deathmatch show, God bless the insurance, because it's going to be stupid. You know what I mean? But with that being said, if you're a promoter and you're listening to this, take a risk. Seriously. Everything that we've done has been a risk, from, having Chris be, it's not, when you look at it, it's not much of a risk, but like Chris Hero being a part of West Coast Pro, I am very happy about that.
For the
and
time
we worked so hard.
Question mark?
Say again?
Said for the time being? Question mark?
No, we already talked about that. I was there when he got the text message. I want him to go do shit. If you, I'll tell you this right now, and this is, and anyone that ever works with me could tell you that I'm like this. I do not want to work with you a year from now.
Right.
I do not want it. I don't want to work with Vinny, Chris, Titus. I don't want to. I want you to go do bigger shit than what we're doing. That's not saying what we do is not important. I understand that. Listen, we have already been, this is our 5th year. We have already surpassed, I think, the halfway point of my favorite wrestling organization.
Yeah.
Wrestling organizations aren't around for a long time. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Go do something. Go get the bag. I'm always going to tell you to get the bag. It'd be against my religion to tell you not to go get the bag.
Facts.
But I will support you and cheer you on every step of the way. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be one of these old school ass dumbasses where I'm going to get here and, bruh, when you look at guys like Titus and Vinny, and you look at the type of the upside they could get from going to a bigger promotion, and I'm going to sit here and tell them no. Fuck off. Why wouldn't I? No, I want you to be down and do these shows. And no, I want Vinny to wrestle in front of fucking 10,000 people. I want Titus to wrestle in front of 10,000 people. I want Chris to get back into doing what he loves to do and be around a lot of the other shit. I'm telling you, I want these people to excel. It's being a part of West Coast Pro is a blip in time. If you're here forever, that's a problem. And I've always said that. If you look at who we've worked with from the beginning to who we work with now, that is not by coincidence. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it as you have graduated. You have gone on to do something more. And that's okay. I don't want people to look at it like, oh, you should have stayed on the indies. For what? So for fucking fans' selfishness? No, man. I want them to go and retire, bro. I want them to have a 401k and get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. You know what I mean? That's, you know, a little personal, but like dead serious. That's what I would love to see. So with that being said, I going back to what I was saying before, I want more promoters to take chances, take risks. You know, stop trying to be a fucking mark and play with your action figures and, you know, book your best friend to be a champion. Like, that's stupid. Stop. Have fun, dude. Have some shit you're gonna look back and be proud of in 5-10 years. You know what I mean? When I'm done, if I said I'm done with West Coast Pro tomorrow, I've done it. I've done everything I wanted to do, and then some. And I'm not saying that I'm content. I'm just saying I'm proud. Like, holy shit. Like, if you look within the last year, there's when people always talk about, oh, there's something special. Just look at what we've accomplished, or look who we've worked with and have gravitated towards what we do. It's not, it's come on, bro. Like, stop. I want everyone to have that. I want territories back, just like Vinny says. Because I want the best from up north. I want the best from LA. I want the best from Texas. If you really trip off of it, when we talk about Keith or Nick Wayne at the time and down in LA, or Vegas, we pull the best from those areas and we put them over here because I have seen on some territorial shit that they do some really cool shit. So, and I mean Vinny and Chris. They're the bookers.
All right, rapid fire, just yes or no answers to this. West Coast Pro won't make it to 10 years.
No.
And
I got 2 more years left.
Right. And West Coast Pro deathmatch show eventually.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. We got West Coast. Well, we've already announced Queen of Indies for Japan.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to believe that we won't have a Japanese show too, West Coast. Okay. Like West Coast Pro is before the pandemic, there was already a talk about us doing a show in Japan.
That's my first trip to Japan, I guess, because
we all going. It's gonna be a fucking blast. I'm sorry, I'm still putting this tweet out.
Come on, does it take this long to do a tweet?
Well, when I'm talking at the same time and making sure that I'm not fucking up spelling and making sure Reg isn't up my ass about making sure that I'm not putting Manders out there. You know what I mean?
He's a janitor, not a social media manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Like I'm a man with many hats, bro.
Okay, we're gonna talk about a couple other matches while you're going.
Hurry up, man, because I'm
6-man tag team match. Los Suavecitos taking on unbelievable Kushida's gonna be in the fucking building. That's unreal. Kevin Knight and the young Starboy Charlie.
Yep.
This match is on fire. Los Suavecitos has came with this energy that's just different. You can feel it. They're LA. They're dope. I like their shit a lot. They're and then beyond that, they're just really good in the ring. Like their tag team match that they had with the infantry last month was fucking heat.
I love Adrian
Quest.
They're really good.
Adrian Quest has been he's one of those guys that I see and I'm like, how is he not booked everywhere? When he was doing New Japan Strong, I was like, oh, this is it, he's on his way. And then he wasn't on his way. Still very confusing, but he brings that dope energy.
He be talking shit. That's why
he be talking a lot of shit.
He be talking a lot. I love Adrian
because he's real, man. That's the dope part about
You're
him.
a pain in the ass to work with, but I love Adrian for the fact that
exactly like he wouldn't be where he was if he wasn't real. And so it's just really dope. So this 6-man match is going to be insane. Starboy Charlie, another West Coast Pro staple. Exactly all the things we've been talking about here with the show. And he's teaming up with Kushida. We've been talking about Japanese legends and having people in West Coast Pro. Kushida's pulling up, bro. This is huge.
Yeah.
Kevin Knight, the dropkick god.
Damn, Titus is sick.
Titus has been extra. All the shows that Kev's on, like Titus's drop kicks are extra.
The competitiveness between those two is actually hilarious, but that's another day.
So
that 6-man, listen, Suavecitos are taking the West Coast by storm. I can't really say much on that. Definitely showed improved.
Are they West Coast tag team champions? What the hell's going on here? Can I where are they?
So we'll get tag belts soon. I think they're actually already. You just reminded me. I gotta hit this fucker up. Yeah, they were already in production.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
So here's the funny part. We were actually gonna have a 6-man belt before we're gonna have the tag belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love 6-mans. I hate scrambles, but I love 6-mans.
You do hate scrambles. I was thinking the other day, like, hey, a scramble might be fun in West Coast Pro. And I was like, damn, Sky.
Then you saw the tweet where he said Vinny asked me to book a scramble and I hung up on
him. He goes, He said because I'm not a booker, but he was saying that he's like, maybe me and Chris should book a scramble, and I just hung up the phone. I was like, get out of here.
What's wrong? Just one? Like, it doesn't have to be a million.
We used to do them, and honestly, like, I listened to most of the cats, and there was a lot of shit that I hate about scrambles.
And wrestlers hate scrambles too, honestly.
I feel that if you are in a scramble match, usually you are typecast into only those matches.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you are in scramble hell. And
Jimmy Lloyd.
I think Jimmy Lloyd's fucking awesome.
He is awesome.
He is.
I think he is talented as shit, and I love. And whenever I see him on a singles match, I will definitely go out of my way to watch a Jimmy Lloyd match.
Yeah. The match he had with Masha that one time was banger. They never put him in singles matches, and he's such a good singles wrestler.
He is. Yeah. I don't have much of an opinion. I'm just going to say I think Jimmy Lloyd is a very good singles wrestler. And at some point, you might see him at West Coast. I'm not bullshitting because fuck that. He is talented. I think I've used the word I hate. I think he's slept on.
He is.
I think he's slept on. I'm shocked he is not at more. Like, he is Jimmy Lloyd to me is a person that like embodies like the old brawler spirit. And I don't think a lot of people see it that way.
I hate that the comparisons being made, but he really is like if Mick Foley did cool moves also. Like that's the spirit.
Jimmy is
Jimmy
incredibly
Lloyd.
athletic, man. So
yeah.
Which
is the difference. So tweet. Is it tweeting? Are we tweeted?
I keep talking. Women's champions.
Jesus Christ. The longest tweet of all time.
I'll just say
we're asking him. I feel bad because we're asking him questions and keeping.
This is hard copy, baby.
So whoever, I'll say it and then I can tweet it after. Whoever is the winner from next in 10 days, you got Masha Slamovich, who is current West Coast Pro Women's Champion. And then you have Trish Adora. Whoever is the winner of that on night one of the West Coast Cup, coming from Japan in a singles match for the West Coast Pro Women's title, Takumi Iroha.
Wow.
She's insane. Telling you.
You are spending money, bro.
Listen.
People are getting food
I'm not
out
spending
from Japan.
anything. Vinny and Chris keep on coming out these flights. I'm getting pissed off, bro.
No, it's great. I love what you do because you bring a lot of first timers to the U.S. and people that are on the cusp of being discovered.
Yep. So Takumi,
quite true.
We wanted to make sure that she was in the 6-man.
Yeah.
Because I was like, just y'all finna get a taste, and then we'll get busy with the single shit. So it's gonna be fire. Yeah,
that's dope.
I'll tweet that out later.
Yeah, and then rounding out the Cruel Summer card, we've got a couple of young killers.
Yep.
And Robert Martyr and Kevin Blackwood. Kevin Blackwood has been on a trajectory way up. Every match with hit in West Coast Pro has been a hit. He's been getting angrier, more submissions. He's been getting much tougher in the West Coast Pro.
And
Robert Martyr's exactly. He's been adding an extra layer to that. And Robert Martyr's just an angry little dude, man. He's just he'll do a promo and he's just like the fire in his eyes. He's ready for a big win. He's been wanting a big opportunity, and I think this match right here is one that he's looking forward to. What made you book this match with these two guys?
I didn't book this match. This was Vinny and Chris.
What made them book the match with the two guys?
Roberto Martero. Robert Martyr is I said this to him. I think he's like 50% of where he should be at.
Totally.
I think that damn, I'm not gonna shit on other people's bookings. What I will say is I think Robert Martyr is criminally misused.
Yes.
And I think that putting him in here as like not, just putting him with solid people is going to be a very good thing for him. Not only from a perspective of him learning who he is as a competitor, but I think also from the standpoint of, let's normalize him a little bit rather than put him up on the bigger stages and then, ask where do we go from here, right? So, and then Kevin Blackwood.
I just made the connection.
Kevin Blackwood No, I got love for all that type of stuff.
No, I know. Totally,
I've seen how people book him like on the East, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
here?
I'm thinking there's.
Can we
it's
talk
not
about how
just one
shitty the
example.
East Coast is? About just some of these fucking companies are ass. Like, imagine imagine this, bro. Imagine this. Imagine you train for like 3 years, right? And then you got to go like wrestle in New Jersey, bro. Like, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be disgusted and throw up all over the place.
Hey,
like,
there's some hot stuff going on out there. They got some weekly shows. They got some.
Oh
they're doing some
no,
fun
Wrestling
things out there.
Open's cool. Like, no one's, I don't like.
Isn't that in New Jersey? I don't know.
That's
no, that's Massachusetts. That's Worcester.
Massachusetts.
That's in Worcestershire, Mass, or whatever. I was actually when I was in Connecticut, I was gonna go, but then like I had to tie my shoe and I forgot about it, so it was whatever. But I was like, nah. But much love to Wrestling Open. I'm showing love to him. I'm not hating on him. I just had to do something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
All love to Wrestling Open.
The weekly wrestling thing brought up a memory in my brain too that we need to discuss eventually too. That's an off podcast thing, I think.
Yeah. I think Wrestling Open is giving a ton of fucking reps to people that need them, not in a disrespectful way. I think it's just like, yo, this is good. We need more of that because a lot of people forget that guys aren't wrestling 300 nights out of the year anymore. They're usually wrestling like maybe 52 out of the year, and you expect what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So gotta kind of put that in perspective. Anyway,
I was like, who was I just talking to that I said I'm gonna tell Scott to book y'all? That was the main event. We talked to him last week. What's up with the main event, man? You gonna get him over here in the show?
Yes, at some point, definitely a main event. Which one? There's 2 main events.
The
House of Glory ones, or the one that's
House of Glory main event.
Ringleader Midas and
but both main events are awesome, and they are great.
Yeah,
West
both
Coast Pros.
No. I think they were trained out in Connecticut by Paul Roma. I think I could be wrong. One of the 2 are. Either way, yes, main event, fucking awesome.
I know Amazing Red, like, since I've been at Hog, has definitely been doing it. But Hog. I'm not sure where before.
Yep. Do y'all talk to Amazing Red?
Trying.
Okay. Would love to.
Okay. Yes, Scott.
I've been trying
Send
for
the
like
email.
2 years.
We just talked to the main event last week, and that's just how he is. Like
I know
he is.
Hog. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Okay.
It ain't dog.
So
no, we could get a West Coast Pro versus Hog show. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hate these. Okay, so
you hate versus shows?
I don't hate versus shows. I like collaboration shows. When Prestige and I
did
those shows, those were good. Those were good shows. Like we just showcased we showcased our talent versus it being some like corny fucking interpromotional beef shit. Like I'm not saying interpromotional beef is corny. I'm just saying like I've seen it happen to like there was 2 companies like I think in Florida, and they tried to do like some shit, and I was just like, wow, like I don't want to watch wrestling anymore. This is so bad. Like I'm gonna take the day off. But I think that there's definitely room for interpromotional shit like Prestige and Wrestling Revolver. I think that shit is interesting. You know, so like it's there, but like I think like come on, bro. Like I think doing a Hog West Coast show would be cool, but like we'll get there when we get there if we get there. But what were we talking about before this? You're talking about
Robert Martin, Kevin Blackwood.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so because I was saying how shitty the East Coast is, West Coast, best
Coast.
Yes.
We went off.
I think Robert Martyr and Kevin Blackwood, they've already worked before. I think up at C4. Shout out to C4. I think that they have some really good chemistry.
They do.
Very similar styles. I know Kevin Blackwood is very striker heavy. Martyr is more of the he's a very like. Martyr reminds me of Dan Severn in a weird way. He's a very solid hybrid,
dude.
He's a very solid hybrid. So, like, I think
Dan Severn did more moves. Totally
correct. So,
and Robert Martyr doesn't do a lot of moves. I'm not saying
he does a lot of calculated shit. Martyr is like how one of that the Hearts would size somebody up and like pay attention on some graps shit. Martyr's definitely up there when it comes to like methodical, I'm gonna fuck you up shit. So I'm on board with that.
But yeah, just like you said, like not in a disrespectful way, it's only 50% of what the true Robert Martyr is going to be.
We
When
have
he
not
really
seen
locks in 100%, it's over.
we have not seen Robert find himself yet.
Yes,
that's what I'm going to say. Robert Martyr has not found who he is, and I'm hoping that we get that at the coast.
I do like that he is constantly trying to find it, though. He isn't like complacent in any position. Like he knows it, and he's on a mission every day to find it.
Robert Martyr is probably one of the more hardworking people that exist in this industry.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need to look at Robert Martyr in that aspect rather than some other shit and judge him based off of his work and work ethic versus anything else. Robert Martyr is going to be somebody that we talk about in 5 to 10 years for sure. He just needs to find the spark, and it, that's something that I think that we could help develop at West Coast Pro.
Fire. That's the show.
We have Saturday. One more match. Wow,
just one more match.
Do we?
The West Coast Pro debut of Lights Camera Faction.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh
wow, you really hating on Light. Hey, Ice, just know that.
No, I love
I
Lights
didn't do
Camera
that.
Faction. I'm so stoked on this match too,
I didn't do
man.
Yep.
Damn, that match.
Daniel Garcia called me 4 a.m. from Vegas and told me that I should book Lights Camera Faction. I just want that to be out there. And I was just like, "Bruh, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why are you calling me at 4 a.m?" He's like, "You need to book my boys." I'm like, "Call me later."
And the homie Surza is back too. That's
Surza's back. You
fire.
Damn, Mike is on it. Mike, there was a point where we were talking about having Reg be a part of like something with West Coast Pro, but you seem to be on point more than him.
Oh, fly me out. Yeah, fly me out. Fly me out. I'll do something, man. Like,
you don't even have to fly me out. I drive over.
I'll find work to do.
I drive over.
Yeah, about there. Yeah, about there.
We're gonna fly you out for the 5th year.
Oh my god.
We're gonna fly you out for the 5th year, and you and Reg are gonna do Indeed from the 5th year. Yeah, you're gonna do it at West Coast. You're gonna do, and we have internet, so we'll hook everything up. You don't have a choice. I'm saying if you don't do it, you a punk.
I'm trying to do for Cruel Summer also the Cruel Summer first ever West Coast Pro post show. So
okay, we'll talk about this when we go. There's a lot of things that we've talked about internally, so we'll talk about that after. But we have an 8-man match.
Yes,
Cubes,
super fire.
Cubes, who is a student out of Buffalo. I think we have the first ever West Coast Pro Training Academy graduate, JT Thorne. Then we have Jaya Jewel, who is the Crazy Cajun. And then we have the return of Surza, who was training at the Fale Dojo. He went and thugged it out and hustled and got his way down there versus Lights Camera Faction. Yeah, that's where he was this entire time. He was at Fale Dojo.
I was wondering where he was at. That's really dope to hear.
Kept his head low and got cracking. And then they're working with they're gonna face off against Lights Camera Faction, who was a very promising group. The leader of that faction is Kenny King, but unfortunately he's not coming. But it's
got to get really King back.
Yep. So it's gonna be a really good match for us to see there. So yeah,
I'm excited. There's a lot of there's some debuts, there's some returns, there's a lot of different elements in that match that I think if everything clicks together, you're about to get a fire ass match.
I think someone in your chat said book Tootie. Definitely check her out. She was someone that I saw from JD Drake, and she is really, really good. She is someone I have kept an eye on. Who else? I'm not gonna say all because I don't want to get hit up, but just know, like,
don't want to show your hand.
No, but just know, like, as much as I admit that I don't, the amount of wrestling that I do watch is staggering.
Yeah, for somebody who doesn't watch wrestling, the amount of wrestling that you do watch is insane.
I can't tell you what happens on television. I can't. I have no idea. Respectfully, I don't know. I know that Reg isn't getting a residual, but I know that I don't know who's wrestling who and doing what. But if it's on the indies, if it's on, I'm paying attention to that. If it's, definitely I'm watching Japanese content, but I have to. So when Vinny and Chris tell me these names, I don't look stupid because they're the bookers and I'm just here mopping floors. So, I think, and I asked a question. I want to ask you this question, both of you. I asked this question the other day, and I want to know what your answer is. Do you think? What do you? I'll remix it. What do you think we're going to be talking about in 10 years about wrestling that we're seeing now within the post-COVID? Because
independent wrestling,
yes,
or wrestling as a whole. Yeah,
independent wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestling as a whole, big wrestling, is doing good.
Yeah,
it's doing fine. I'm not saying independent wrestling isn't. I'm saying that there's a very weird cultural shift that is happening, that the rabid diehard wrestling fans are cannibalizing each other, and tribalism is at an all-time high where they completely forget about the guys that are coming up. So I'm like, is that why no one gives a shit when something happens in Chicago or Texas and things like that, in those territories where they will always perceive them as small, but like 10 years ago, we'd go to a PWG show and it was the only thing in the world that mattered.
Yeah.
Or we'd pay attention to what was happening in Ring of Honor and be like, I can't believe this is happening. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know there's not another PWG and there's not another Ring of Honor, and there will never be another one. Those were lightning in a bottle, and there's a lot of variables that happen to make those things happen. But what's next for independence? I have my own theories and things that I'm investing in for sure. But because this is the Indeed podcast, what do you believe is next for the Indies?
I
think, yeah, no, go ahead, Mike.
I feel like it's cyclical. Like someone again is going, like someone's going to be there with their bottle and catch a lightning bolt in it, but it's trying to figure out what it'll look like because everything evolves and changes and gets a little different. So it's I don't know. I feel, but again, coming out of the pandemic, I feel like the swell of interest in it is building up to something, but it's a matter of like who's the lightning catcher.
I think you mentioned their name a little bit when we talked about Jay Malachi. I think the way of Deadlock Pro, how they, the way that they started from the podcast and the way that they like know their audience and they market super hard to their audience and they know exactly what to give them. Funny that you say territories. I think that's where we're going to end up. Where like territories are just going to be stronger. Territories are just going to be stronger than ever because everybody is so tribalistic on the top that people are going to be like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to market to my Texas people. I'm just going to market to my, you know what I mean? Like that. Because that's the way, that's the only way you're going to survive. Everybody having big, super indie PWG style matches, that can't work.
Well, those PWG style in like the super shows that PWG were running, that wasn't even to me super shows because that was just the standard that they had, right? Like they really created the bar.
It wasn't a super show when they were doing it. Yeah.
I think everyone tries to emulate that, and I don't think I think they're falling short of that for a lot of reasons, but I'm not going to get into that. Interesting. I just wanted to hear from you guys' point of view because, like, obviously I'm in the thick of the shit and I got money tied into this. So, like, obviously my bias is going to be a little different, but I think, fuck it, I'll say it. I think that we are heavily going to go into territorial to the point where I've even started to adjust, or Chris and Vinny have already adjusted what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I believe that it was like last year that Vinny really started putting in where it was like, no, we're going to make sure it's, like if you look at this show, it's mostly West Coast guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or guys that have previously been on West Coast,
And everyone who's not is working with a West Coast person for the
working along with them. Yeah, exactly.
100%. It's very interesting. I don't know. Very cool.
But I think that's something.
Reg hates my ass. He's like, dog,
I can't stand you.
I know, man.
I know.
Down with West Coast Pro. I'm team whatever Scott hates.
Yeah,
you gonna have to. You're gonna end up watching some shit you don't want to watch. I'll tell you that. I know that. I know that's right.
That's a big fact.
Nah, man. I got nothing nice to say if I don't say anything. To be honest,
it's funny you mentioned the territorial thing though, because I like. As we talked about, I live in the Toronto area, so but C4, C4, IWS, IWS is Montreal, but still, like they're geographically, like it would be like Portland for a California fan, really.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
So, but then I think about a lot of the US based promotions I watch. It's West Coast Pro, Prestige Wrestling, Defy. That whole West
That's all
Coast
West
actually,
Coast.
yeah, it's still all West Coast promotions. It's like,
it's a stronghold. I always tell
Yeah.
people all day, I'm like, nah, man. Like, if you're talking about pound for pound, like anything west of Vegas, we're really fucking y'all up. Like, I don't care what nobody's really got to say about it. But
I think maybe the Canadian part of me, because obviously, like, there's this there's this topic of discussion of how hard it is being a Canadian independent wrestler lately as well.
I've heard about that a lot. Yep.
But for California, I feel like it's not, at least like the getting into the US is already accomplished for a West Coast wrestler, but the like getting out of the West Coast seems just as difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, I know exactly why.
I think that's why I sympathize. I like the. I think
that's
why
do you think? Why do you think?
Why do you think?
I know why, but why do you think that West Coast, or even we can even say East Coast, but West Coast folks can't leave the West? Why?
Well, because the wrestling business sucks.
Why?
Like flights are more expensive cross country than like paying someone gas to just drive a state or two over.
1, flights. 2, no one wants to take a chance.
Okay.
And that's what it is. So, like I've been trying to work with the East Coast company to just get talent exchange. I'll book my guys. I'll book yours. I don't care. You know what I mean? That type of stuff is lost. It's a lost concept. The worst part about wrestling is dealing with promoters. I'm telling you. I don't give a fuck who feels bad about that. Trying to work with these folks is insane. I do a lot of things. I have a lot of hats outside of wrestling that I do. I'm telling you, the most painstaking one is working with promoters. I love working with Will from Prestige. I think working with Matt Farmer is a no issue. A lot of us on the West, it's not because we have to. No one has to, bro. Trust me, we could all be assholes. It's just because it works easier. I like working with people from Grap House. I think Grap House is one of the illest companies in Vegas that people need to pay attention to, but they're easy to work with. New Texas Pro, solid individuals. You'll never know the companies I don't fuck with. And there's definitely companies on the West I don't. Not because of any other reason that they have left a lot of people stranded.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I had to bail people out because the promoter didn't want to buy a flight home for them and didn't tell them until after the show.
It's so it's nasty how many of those stories I've heard, man.
That's wild.
It's out in the wild now. That I could say it because everyone kissed my ass, but like I clown as like a joke. It's a fucking joke that I clown on a lot of East Coast companies, but like Garden State, they were cool as hell to work with. You know what I mean? Wrestling Open, I don't think there's a single issue over there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of companies out there. If you're coming from Florida, I'm not touching it. But like, but there was like a few companies in Chicago that were like, it got really stupid. And I'm just like, wow, okay, cool. So, it's not so much because the guys from
Chicago,
you wouldn't know because it's not a company on a radar. It's not because our guys aren't talented. It's not because our guys aren't willing, but I'm telling them flat out, like, just be aware of this. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I want more East Coast wrestlers out here. Alec Price is amazing. Main Event, amazing.
Jordan Oliver.
Jordan Oliver's fucking.
I love Jordan, man.
Yep. Jordy's fucking fire. One of the nicest people ever.
So nice. So insanely nice.
Take a shot every time that man says "God bless you." Like,
oh my god, just a young, really nice kid. Honestly,
too nice.
It's just like when you talk to him, you're like, oh man, I see why you're getting all this shit just because you're like nice and humble and really cool.
Calvin Tankman, it's another one. Tank is Midwest, but like Tank's probably one of my favorites. But again, I always tell people, they're like, who is your favorite wrestlers? Well, look at who we book, and then that'll answer your question, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to get your take on this because you guys, it's the Indie podcast. I might as well ask a question about the Indies. So I don't know what I'm independent from, but I mean, I'm just saying. I just wanted to ask y'all. But anyway, no, Mike. Keep the 14th of October open. I'm not bullshitting you. If you want to come out and do the indie podcast, I'll fly you out. I'll put it into the budget. That doesn't exist. If you don't want to do it, I respect it.
Oh, that's pretty lit, Mike. I'll do it by myself if you're not going to be here.
Trust me. I'm more than would. It's a day job thing that I got to make sure. But yeah, that's
over, bro.
That's some people got work. Like me, I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. What day is it? I'll be there.
No, I thought that's a lot of time in advance to figure that out. So
I'm not setting you up for no more money jokes. I want to wrap this up because there's already been too many of them.
I've got to wrap this up.
Reality. Where's the punchline? I'm waiting for what
There isn't one.
Damn. Remember this, everybody. Don't do what you do great for free. You are in the wrestling business. You're doing it for opportunity. I love that. Anyway, thank you guys for showing up for the Indie Podcast. West Coast Pro Cool Summer, 10 days away. Next Saturday, July 8th. Come fuck with it. You feel me? I'm just a janitor. My name is Scott Bregante.
Tickets are still on sale right
under
now.
Under 80. They're probably going to sell out. You know how it goes.
Under 80. Gonna sell out. It's gonna be hot at the Irish. I always want to say
United Irish Cultural Center.
United Irish Cultural Center. They got alcohol, so you can come get drink too.
He's hurt.
It's just call it the UICC.
UICC.
So much easier.
Yep.
UICC. Some bullshit in this podcast. So yeah. July 8th. Get your ticket, and if you can't get a ticket live, you can watch it. IWTV.
WestCoastPro.eventbrite.com. Follow us on Twitter at WCProOfficial.
Right there.
Hashtag get reg paid. Hashtag get reg free reg. Damn. Move the DMV to this shit. Damn, bro. What would Wale say about this? Does Wale know you doing shit for free like this? It's not the 80s.
I'm not saying anything.
This has been my favorite episode by far. Real quick,
he's not saying anything. He's not saying anything to me. He's not saying anything to people that owe some money. I know some dreadheads with some goals will go get that for you.
Oh my god!
Just give me 10%. You know what I'm talking about? We'll send them in like Ice Cube did Interscope Records in like '89. We could do it.
Real quick, I gotta acknowledge the super chat from Van.
Please hurry.
Hi, Mike and Red. Just want to say Synchro from Know Your Ropes is doing a great job healing it up, and because he's doing so great, Tankvin is now champ. That's for Glory Pro.
Oh, Tankvin's the Glory Pro champ now.
Shout out to Glory Pro one time. Shout out to Glory Pro.
There we go.
Ask Rich tomorrow and ask Grapsity. Oh, does Grapsity know about this situation? Put me on Grapsity.
Oh no.
This has been Indeed with Mike, Righteous Reg.
What's so righteous about not getting paid?
Scott from West Coast Pro.
At the next time you got one of those shows, pull a fire alarm. Get your money back somehow. Time, effort, don't matter. Break a window. You know what I'm saying? Do something. Get your money, man. Yo, Scott George, bring this up tomorrow, bro. I'm about to tweet about it. I'm about to tweet the man himself. Like, hey, bro.
All right, Scott.
Did you at least get a free copy of the game? Did you get?
My God!
Did you get a copy of the game for free?
Did
you get a copy of the game for free?
Have a great day,
Mike,
everybody.
let me know.